Welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby003 Show, and we might move on real quickly. Let's get a couple of our sponsors.
Oh, I can handle that. I'm good at that. Quarters Casino. Go just north of Opelousas and try your luck at the big gaming area where they got all the great machines that you can try your luck with at the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza. While you're there, you can get a good bite to eat. Authentic Mexican restaurant and cantina, the El Pico de Gallo.
I'm getting a lot of feedback on that. People like that.
They go and they get
the food they get there, authentic.
And 2-for-1 margaritas with your meal. That don't help. That don't hurt the meal going down either.
No.
And next door in the
just make sure you have a designated driver.
And next door in the convenience store, you can get Subway sandwiches. You can get crispy, crunchy fried chicken as well. All sorts of great convenience store type things. All the latest drinks, from your cold drinks to your heavier beverages. At I-49, exit 23. Don't forget about the good Chevron gas outside. And one more sponsor. Let's hit, let's go with Steamboat Warehouse. Get mama away from the smell of her own cooking. Go north of Opelousas there while you go.
Yeah, everybody's been cooking at home a lot. That's right. Let's start the year off right.
Go see chef owner Jason Hugay, who was named best of the best chef for like the 8th year running, and he's also restaurateur of the year for this whole region, including Lafayette and all around. Go to Steamboat Warehouse, try the great seafood, the great steaks, the ambience and atmosphere. They got great wine selection, adult beverages. You can have that good Bloody Mary with a pickle Zydeco in it from the bar and just relax and enjoy the nice wharf there. Go by and see them.
More than likely, you're going to meet friends there, and you can watch. I like to watch the people walking in, and they see somebody that they hadn't seen in a while, and just it makes for a good evening of dining and pleasure.
Good morning, Fuzzy Stanford.
There you go.
Uncle's almost always there on Fridays.
Friday afternoon. Okay. This weekend on that would have been Monday, which would have been the 31st. Went over to Dillard's to see about returning some shoes,
right?
And Then before we went there, of course, we went by Cheddar's
Photos, Mark.
Restaurant, and this young lady was our waitress, and I might add, very, very professional. And she is Lacey, and she's in college and doing well, I understand. And that picture, the background picture, is an aquarium, and real beautiful restaurant. I'd never been to Cheddar's, and that's on Johnston Street. Big selection, fast service, and good medium price goods. The restaurant is good. And then after that, I went by. And that's when I bought this hat. I went over to Dillard's that afternoon.
Le Frère Chapeau.
Le Frère de Chapeau.
The brother's hat.
And of course, what's missing is brother John. John was the first one to wear one of these, and then Cody started wearing one. And then I went over to see about the shoes, and didn't take care of the shoes, but I did buy a hat.
The hat.
And went back, there you go, right there. Two brothers enjoying each other's company. Thanks, Cody, for being so helpful for me ever since I was a young kid. And of course, New Year's Day, which would have been yesterday, we taping on Wednesday. We always like to let you know. I had gone back. It was kind of rainy, so I was wearing a big, heavy LSU sweatshirt. And who did I meet but Robert Carmouche, Mr. Carmouche, and didn't recognize him, to be honest, but he had a yellow rain jacket over him, kind of hiding out from me, but we had a good conversation. When he got that jacket
off and you saw the UL on him, you knew who he was.
Oh, then I knew who he was. Used to be a town councilman right there in Sunset for years, maybe 20 years if I'm not mistaken. And I said, yeah, and I remembered your daddy, Mr. Preston. He said, you sure remember the family. I said, you heard how I said Mr. Preston. You talk about a well-respected man in the little Bellevue area where they're from, Christ the King Catholic Church and all that, very active in all that. And he, of course, works over at the University of Louisiana, UL Lafayette, and he's the director, Department of Special Services. So, good visit. And then here's another young man who took care of the shoes, and they had a sale yesterday, 50% off.
Hey,
and the people
look all the money you saved by
people were
going.
packed over there. Yeah, I had told Ginger years ago when I was married to Ginger, I said, look, you need to quit saving me all that money on these sales. we've saved enough where we can retire now. But this young man is Christopher Ozan. He said, you probably know some of my family. I said, where you from? He said, the Leonville area, Highway 31. He said, well, you know it real well. Oh, yeah. He says, my relatives are the Ozans and the Lamels. So did a great, I mean, when I talk about service, every time I would mention a color of another shoe, he had it for me to try on. Of course, ended up going. Yesterday at that big sale, I had gone back to pick up a sport coat. Well, they didn't put that one on a sale, and they didn't have it in stock, so I had to order it. And I said, well, let's look around at a suit. So Vic and I started walking around, and the young man on the left is Ray. And of course, Ray is the young man who sold me the cap on Monday. So
he had you hooked. You had to go back to your man again.
I had to go back because the service was so good. And then this young man in the middle walks up and he said, you recognize me, Mr. Bobby? I said, you from Opelousas, I know that. But I said, I can't think of the name. He said, what about Billy Fontenot? You know my daddy? I said, oh yeah. I said, what about your grandpa, Mr. Lee Fontenot, the mechanic? And he said, you know the whole family, don't you? And of course, Devin Fontenot is Billy's young son. He is the business manager of the men's suit department, sport coats and all.
So he sold you a suit?
Oh,
sold
me a suit.
There's the picture.
And that's Ray taking care of the measurements and cutting it and fitting it, and bought some shirts and all of that. And
well, you got a big graduation coming for Megan, graduating college. She told you had to have a new suit.
I had to. That's right.
It matches the new tie. I hope it does.
Oh, the tie she gave me.
Yeah.
I bought a blue shirt it'll
go with it.
It'll work, or a white shirt. I bought them both. Meg, I want to look good for you. You know.
No, you're like the bride now. You bought the dress early.
I got the shoes too to fit. Brand new shoes to go with it.
But you got to keep your weight right up from now until the graduation. That's a couple of months. So you got to keep your diet right.
Well,
just like a bride getting ready for the wedding.
I was 2.5 pounds after all of this, you know, eating and functions and everything. I'm only 2.5 pounds heavier. So I'm starting today. I'm going back down. I'm going back to that 182, 180, 182. And I want to look good for that graduation, Megan.
There you
are. Well, I want to look good every day, but you know.
The health is a good thing to have too when you get that weight right.
Oh yeah, you're right. So anyhow, to the people who waited on me at Dillard's, thanks for putting up with me, because some of the things, you know, I tell you, if I either like it or I don't like it. I even bought some new belts. When I got home, I showed Vicky. I said, Vicky,
instead of them, look, you would tighten them old ones up. Well,
the belts that I had been wearing.
Yeah.
Were basically the same style and maybe the same brand that I had been wearing is what I bought. So I had class back then. I just don't go. I hadn't been shopping for a suit. I'd like to know how many years it's been.
But you know,
you know why I'm buying a new suit?
Because you lost a lot of weight.
I lost the weight, and it kind of looks kind of funky on me.
If you're too baggy.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, I tried to, you know, tell Megan and Vicky. I said, but then it'll show that I've lost a lot of weight. They said, you go and get a new suit.
What I
Daddy, Daddy, you know when she says that, Daddy, oh Lord.
But one thing with the belt, you see, if you wear them long enough, they came back in style, is what it is.
Ooh, boy.
How about some more public service announcements? We've got, that's our last photo, we've got Mr. Mutzy Comedy Tour coming here to the Delta Grand. That is going to be on Friday, January the 11th. That's next week at 8 p.m. Tickets are $12 in advance, $15 at the door. And he's been Best Comedian a couple of times. He performs on Carnival Cruises, and he's been on Showtime, Comedy Central, and BET. Should be a good time. Go to deltagrand.com.
Family-oriented is what?
Family-oriented, that's correct. You can bring the whole family. He's performed at churches and church-related family events as well. So nice, clean fun.
And on Saturday, January the 12th, that would be the following day, right here in Opelousas, Queen of Angels Catholic Church. Right. The youth group is sponsoring the All-Star Comic Group. And one of them in there, I know it's 3 members that are going to be 3. And I'm sure they all
Cajun
form
comedy.
Cajun comedy. And I know one of them is Murray Conk from right here in Carencro. And of course, I think all 3 of them were winners of the International Joke Telling Contest, which was held very successfully for many years, started by Carol Ann Andropone way back yonder. And of course, now she's way up in, I guess she's still up in Kentucky.
I think
she and Tim.
I think Andre needs to get kind of back involved in that. You know, Andre would work with her when he was a young man, helping with it.
Would probably know the contacts.
Sure.
That was popular. I remember the first one held right here in the hotel that Frankie Elder.
Quality Inn at that time.
Quality Inn, right there. The first one, if I remember right. Then it got too small. The crowd.
I went to the Yamblee one year, and I was shocked it was packed.
Yep.
Could hardly get a chair.
You had to buy your tickets in advance. That is correct. So anyhow, January the 12th, right here in Opelousas, you're going to get, and that's family-oriented, clean entertainment.
How about this? We've got Opelousas Catholics sent us an email, and they said they're having their open house. If you're a prospective student and a parent that wants to start at OC, they're having an open house on Tuesday, January 15th at 5:30 p.m. at the school. Administrators, teachers, and students will all be around. They handle everything from preschool through 12th grade. You can call them at 942-5404. And the Chamber Banquet's coming up. Opelousas St. Landry Chamber Banquet is going to be January 31st. Our good friend Casey Boudreau is putting that whole project together, one of the board members, and works over at Evangeline Downs. The tickets are $30 a piece. Over at the Evangeline Downs Event Center is where it's going to be. They give out the annual awards as well. You got the entrepreneur there one of those years.
Sure did.
And it should be a good event. That's on a Thursday night, so go by.
Yep, I need to get my tickets. We need to go. Last year we missed it, if I remember right.
You were out of town, or I was out of town, or both of us, one or the other. But we'll get it this year. And we also got coming up.
What date is it?
31st.
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 Okay, good.
We've also got the Gumbo Cook-Off coming up, 7th annual, over with Steamboat Warehouse at Frank's Downtown here in Opelousas, right there as you come in on 190. It's Saturday, January 26th from 8 a.m. until. They'll be doing gumbo. If you want to participate,
That's
you can.
Chip and Jason,
Chip
two
and
young
Jason.
men that are starting to take over and do some of the fundraising
Tim
for the
Marks
community.
that does so much to be involved. You can call Tim at 658-1108. Go by. You can try the gumbos. If you want to cook, you can contact them. And this year, all the proceeds are going to go to help Maya Norris, who was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 13. She's 14, I guess almost 15 now. And you can also call Holly for more information if you want to help with different things of donating and get together for January 26th at 337-351-8902.
Okay, what about that head of cabbage on the front page of the Daily World for the?
Eat that.
That's right. That's a good. Supposedly, that's a good luck charm.
Well, you're supposed to eat cabbage at the beginning of the year to get money, and black-eyed peas is for good health.
Good health, right? And
you had some?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
Come on.
Didn't have either.
I'll have to leave some extra money in my
But I
pocket.
thought about it.
In case you need some money, I have to hold on to some.
Well, that's right. After doing that shopping, no, I saved so much money. I made money by going shopping.
Well, yeah, of course.
I made money.
For sure.
By the way,
Yes,
I commented that every year I get a card from Clyde Simeon, and Clyde, and usually I get a card also from the firm,
right? Simeon and
Minix. Ricky Minix, and these two young men received my little high school scholarship many years ago, and they're very successful. And look at the family, and you know they're still remembering the old man here, and that makes me feel good. And got a nice. My card came in from. Dawn and Jim Merriman. I commented earlier that I look forward to seeing their Christmas card, and the card that I receive every year from Pat Morrow and his family. And then I also get another one from Lexi and Tammy Saunier. It always features little Lexi. Thanks to both of you, all, and every other card. But those, I don't know, they just kind of touch me.
1 minute break. We'll see you all on the other side of one for the last quarter.